Okay.
Stace.
We're back.
Time is now 8:29 p.m. and we are back in session. All right, we are on item 6, moving into general business on the agenda. And the first item on page 2 is the approval of the November 14th work session council meeting minutes. Take a look at those.
I have corrections for dates.
Fantastic. So
So you
Maureen,
just pass them down. I've highlighted all these for page 2, 3, and
2, 3, and 4, what do we do here?
4. The dates, I think, were left over from.
Okay, so on page 2, so we're looking at page 2. So the correction on page 2 as proposed by Miranda is instead of October 24th, it's November 24th. I don't think that's right, Shot in that much. Right? So it's the one date in the very first sentence. Okay.
So it's supposed to be what? Should be
And
November
then the
14th.
upcoming meeting on, and then on the back page. I tried to highlight.
December, so, and there's a date adjustment on the back side of page 3, instead of, in the, almost the last sentence, instead of November 14th, it's December 12th, 2024. Good catch, Miranda. All right, are there any other adjustments?
I'll make a motion. Correct your minutes
As edited.
as edited.
I'll second.
Councilmember Campbell has properly made the motion with Councilmember Hanselman seconding the motion.
Yes.
Garvin.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Coffee. Yes. Huntsman.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. On page 4 of your packet is the special session meeting minutes on November 21st. Take a look at those. Miranda has already proposed an edit on page 4, and that would be the very first sentence. We are editing the date from October 24th to November 21st. Are there any other edits? If not, I would propose, or I would entertain a motion,
I'll make a motion to approve
the meeting minutes as amended.
as amended, yes.
Thank you. Councilmember Wacky has properly made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilmember Garvin. Greg, roll call.
Campbell.
Yes.
Garvin.
Yes.
Mays.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Huntsman.
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you. On page 6, you're going to see a resolution pertaining to our fire department. Councilmember Campbell, can you please read that by title?
Sure. A resolution authorizing the village administrator to enter into an agreement with the Eastern Joint Fire and EMS District, district for the provision of fire and EMS services.
So if you looked at your email, Chief Rocky could not be here tonight due to another conflict. However, he did want to make sure you saw this in advance of the meeting. These are the typical agreements that we do with the various townships to cover their runs. He did provide the detail in the email. I can't remember if it was 26 or 15 for this special place district. Either way, he did add commentary that he feels fair for that in exchange for us covering the runs, they provide us with $40,000 a year.
Make a motion to approve.
Councilmember Mays has properly made the motion with Councilwoman.
Mays.
Yes.
Barnhart.
Yes.
Coffee.
Yes.
Huntsman.
Yes.
All right, motion passes. All right, guys, on page 10, same.
We need a resolution.
Resolution number
Oh,
will be
sorry.
1394.
Thank you. All right, again, on page 10, another agreement with Christine Lewis Township. Councilmember Campbell, can you please read this by title?
A resolution authorizing the mayor to enter into an agreement with Lewis Township, Brown County, Ohio for the provisions of fire and EMS services.
All right, and in exchange for this, Lewis,
47,
$47,500.
Where do you see that?
Page of the,
All of them.
Oh my goodness, sorry, thank you. 47,500. So again, this is something that Joey feels comfortable with as far as what we're exchanging from a monetary standpoint based on the number of calls that we service in this district.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Thank you. Councilmember Mays has properly made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilmember Councilman. Greg, roll call, please.
Campbell,
yes.
Garvin,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Bachman,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
and Hawkins.
Yes.
Resolution number 1395.
1395. Thank you, Greg. Motion passes. On page 16 of your packet, you will find a first reading of an ordinance here. Councilmember Campbell, would you please read that for us?
Yes. An ordinance to regulate unlawful camping in the village of Georgetown.
Thank you. Now, again, this is the first reading, so Solicitor, would you provide us some context? I know this is based on something that this group wanted.
Yeah, and Councilmember Balke and some others have weighed in on this when I discussed the possibility of doing this. This is an ordinance that would allow us to deal with some issues where we have people that are both loitering and sleeping and kind of roaming around town and camping in public parks, public benches, public sidewalks, things like that. And this will regulate that. This actually comes as a result of a new Ohio Supreme Court decision which came down earlier this year and allows villages, cities to regulate this. So a lot of communities have, a lot of urban communities have. What's interesting is we have seen some occurrences, as you know, they've been discussed at some council meetings over the last year, where we've had some individuals who are kind of sleeping and housing, if you will, or camping on our public sidewalks, benches, and other places. And so this will give us the ability to regulate that. This is the first reading, so what I would do is I would encourage the members to read through this. If you have any questions, bring them back to the next meeting, or reach out to either Travis or myself or the mayor. We can incorporate those in, because again, this is the first time you've actually seen it, but what I would point out to you is it is written in such a way that they'll get a warning, can get a warning, and the first offense is a minor misdemeanor, if I'm not mistaken, and the second offense,
I think he has an M4 Joe for the second offense.
or am I missing? Oh, there it is. It's minor misdemeanor, and then it's an M4 for the second offense. And that was something that Councilmember Balke had mentioned to me when I originally talked about this, and we felt that was right, but again, we could obviously amend anything in here if you've got concerns, so I would encourage you to read through it, and then you can take it up for a vote or further action at the next meeting. Any questions? At this point, I know you haven't read it all, so, but please take the time to do so.
All right, thank you. On page 19 of your packet, there is another resolution to discuss pay scale for the village. Councilmember Campbell, can you read that by title for us?
Sure. A resolution to revise the pay scale for the employees of the village of Georgetown, Ohio.
All right, and this is our administrator, as provoked by this council, went through and made recommendations for the pay scale, did some comparisons with other villages, also with AMP, and so what you have in front of you is what he's proposing. Any discussion? If not, I would entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Councilmember Bakke has properly made the motion. Is there a second?
I'll second that motion.
Seconded by Councilmember Mays. Greg, roll call.
Campbell,
Yes.
Garvin,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Balke,
Yes.
Hawkins.
Yes.
That would be resolution number 1396.
Resolution number 1396. Thank you. Page 22 of your packet, another ordinance. Councilmember Campbell, if you could read it by title.
An ordinance making the appropriations for the current expenses and other expenditures of the village, Georgetown, Ohio during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2025.
And Administrator, what are we looking at here?
So these are the temporary appropriations. This does look a little different than you would normally have seen. Usually, the UAN accounting software provides an update beginning of December that allows fiscal officers to enter the next year into the UAN system, and then it's printed out through a report. This year, that update has not been released yet, so this is just a spreadsheet that shows prior years and the 2025 temporary appropriations. Once we do get that entered into the system, we will send that PDF out to the council so they can have what's typically approved. Anyway, these are the appropriations that we're asking. Again, this is temporary. The permanent appropriations will be adopted in March at the March meeting.
All right, any questions? If not, I will entertain a motion to adopt.
So moved.
So moved by Councilmember Campbell, is there a second?
I'll second.
Seconded by Councilmember Councilman. Greg, roll call.
Campbell,
Yes.
Garbutt,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Baki,
Yes.
Councilman.
Yes.
And that will be resolution 13, or I'm sorry, ordinance 1378.
Ordinance number 1378. Thank you, Greg. On page 33, into 34, you have 35, you have the payment listing for the village. If there are any questions, we will try to answer those. If not, we will actually have Greg here too as well. If there are any, you probably would know them. If not, or you have something later, always feel free to reach out to Travis and or Greg to get those answered. On page 36, you will see the monthly mayor's court report. And keep in mind, was this the first month that we went to one a month, or is that coming up?
No, we've had, this was the second or third.
Yeah.
Really? So keep in mind, we did reduce that down. You wouldn't see that impact revenue or the revenue generated because it's still the same amount of volume going through, but we did go from 2 mayor's court to 1 though, so.
This month was like an hour and a half, so it's not excessive.
Yeah.
I think
We're a little
fine.
longer, but not
Yeah,
much.
not much.
So it'll cut back a lot on our calls for the police officers too.
Overhead, yep.
Yep.
All right, on page 38 of your packet, you have, let's see, on page 38, you have a report from our code enforcement officer, so you can see what is going there. And I think he does notate he is based on a hours per year limit. That's how his role is. He's whittling down on that this year, so you can see he's kind of reduced down for the remainder of the year, but that will pick back up. And then, I believe that is it. So outside of that, we will move on to roundtable.
Yeah, we do have, we need to add the resolution to accept the bid for Fillmore Construction.
I apologize. In front of you, you do have a separate resolution. First and foremost, Kelly, will you read that by title?
Yes. A resolution accepting the bid of Fillmore Construction LLC for the resurfacing and widening of the walk path in Catherine Hanlon Park and authorizing the village administrator to execute an agreement for the work to be performed.
Well, I can say this is exciting stuff. You didn't have it in your voice as you were reading it, but heck, this has been a problem for at least 5 to 7 years.
Trying to hold back.
Part of that grant money through the county.
Yes.
Yes, so Travis, you want to tell us a little more about
Yeah,
it?
so we did go out to bid. As you know, the county offered to cover 75% of this. The bids did both come in lower than what the original estimate was, which is good. I think the original estimate was like $220. So we had 2 bids come in. One was actually a little lower than this bid. This bid is the higher of the 2, but we have discovered some past performance of the other company who bid, and it was for this type of project. So this is the best of the 2 bids. So that's why I'm asking that you accept the bid of Fillmore Construction. The county will cover 75% of this, and this will resurface and widen the walk path to 8 to 10 feet when it's all said and done.
What's our total we're gonna have to approve basically?
So
They pay 75%?
Yeah, it'd be 25% of the 189.
So $47,221.
Yeah, so for $47,000, we get something off of our list that has been on it for a decade.
I'll make
Is this the
that
first
motion.
reading or
No, I need this approved tonight.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to approve it?
I did.
So Miranda already who
Oh, okay, I'm
so, but hang tight. Councilmember Hanselman did make the motion to approve this with Councilmember Mays seconding. Greg, roll call.
Campbell,
Yes.
Garvin,
Yes.
Mays,
Yes.
Barnhart,
Yes.
Bobby,
Yes.
Ashman.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Will be resolution 1397.
Resolution number 1397 and motion passes, so thank you. All right, continuing on, let's go to roundtable. I am going to start with my left down here with Councilmember Campbell.
I have a few things. One is for Travis. The street guys put the burn gravel down across from the cemetery there under the guardrail where it's washing out. Still need to have them run out to West Fork Road and do that one right beside the guardrail there at the edge of town. When Jerry Cooper was in sometime back, him and I had talked a little bit about tariffs for our electric poles. So maybe sometime next year you guys could get together. Right now, I can't remember the number. I think we charge $10 or something. They're talking about you can up that for anybody that uses our poles to hang wire, do whatever.
We did adjust that earlier this year.
Did you get it
Yeah.
done this year?
But I'll make sure that we looked at.
Yeah, see if that went through. And I'm still trying to look at different ways that we might be able to save some money. I would like to see what you guys think about going into a 4-day work week here. 4 10-hour days. The departments that Travis had talked to perhaps that would need to work that 5-hour day, if there was any of those, that they would just, have a thinner staff or whatever, but I would think we would be able to save quite a bit of money on fuel costs alone, just running up and down the streets and utility bills and that kind of stuff. So I want to know what you guys thought about.
So just for information, as far as who would have to work with this, the sewer treatment plant has to man 5 days a week, so, but that can be managed where we just have one there on Monday and one on Friday, so that wouldn't be a burden to that department to be able to operate that way. Yeah.
Any opinions, ideas, questions?
What's Travis's
Concerns?
opinion on it?
I mean, I'm certainly, I would like to see it done on a trial basis, so
Sure.
that everybody knows that it could go back. But yeah, I think that the employees seem to be open to it. I'm willing to give it a shot, and we'll just have to evaluate how it works out.
Does anybody put any money behind this, like how much it would save, or just in general, you believe it would save money just on overall?
Right, just on experience at my job. So we had started with just a road crew, and then we ended up going straight to the offices, and it's the whole department wide, I should say. So office and all are on 410s.
So everything connected with the engineer's office is now 4 days a week, right?
Yes.
How would that work as far as we've got a really small street department, so if
Well, we wouldn't split them up. Everybody would just work 4 days a week, and then
But what about, well, then you'd be short a day for somebody if you had a problem on the street that you intend to, right? Or-
Yeah, I mean, yeah, right
Yeah,
now,
so-
I mean, you're still gonna have call-ins, so, yeah, I mean, those are,
So we had tried that too, and then what we had kicked around was just, so let's just use, this is gonna be Monday to Thursday for the street guys here. Not all emergencies fall on Friday. If they did, then you would schedule Tuesday to Friday. So the days that there would be an emergency, whether it be snow control or ice or water line or whatever, they would come in. If they've already had their work week, they would get paid overtime for it. So it would just be something to try, experiment with, and see if it's working, and see if it, if it would be a good fit. And like that would be up to Travis to say, he would have to bring it and say, this is not working, or it's working fine.
initially, when this was first brought up, I was against it, but that was because I thought, we tried this in Bethel, but they still wanted 5 days a week. So we had half the employees work on Monday and the other half work on Friday. And we didn't have staffing levels to be able to do that. So you ended up with 3 productive days. But if everybody works the same 4 days, I think it would be as productive, if not more. But yeah, I would want to make sure that everybody understood this is a trial.
Right.
What do you guys think?
I think we've done it before in another county office I worked in, Tilly and I talked about it, and it had a lot of good. The only 2 drawbacks, and I told him this, the first one is there are a few holidays that fall on a Monday. So then the question is, if your crew works Monday through Thursday, is Monday considered, technically they're supposed to get 8 hours of pay there because it's a paid federal holiday, for example. And then how do you work that out? Do you make them take 2 hours of vacation? Do you make them flex it out? If they switch to Tuesday through Friday, then technically they're entitled to 8 hours of compensation at time and a half. And it doesn't happen often. There's only a couple Monday holidays. And then the only other issue would be the departments that work outside, like right now, for example, where it's dark by 5 or 5:30, which doesn't, depending on the start time, might not be a big deal. And how that, how the guys will be able to work, which they could probably work that out, I'm sure, maybe do paperwork at that time at the end of the day when it's dark, but it does, definitely have some merit, and it gives people who work, maybe don't get off at 4 o'clock and come to the village office or something, it gives them some flexibility to be able to actually speak to somebody and talk to them face to face.
Right.
What about like your utility office? Is that a proposed 4-day work week? So you would just spend out your staff to cover the Monday through Friday?
I don't know how
Just
many.
work 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're gonna have staff taking calls, wanting stuff done, and nobody's there to do anything. I wouldn't want the utilities clerks to have that. We would just be open 4 days a week.
Even in the utility office, you're saying?
Well, if they're staying there later than, the people who,
Right.
don't get off work, or they get off work at the same time as them, they would have more opportunity to talk with them.
And, a lot of the county offices are closed on Fridays now, so that I think this community is already used to that to some extent. But yeah, you're right, the holiday issue is the big change. It's just 8 hours, and how they handle those other 2 has to be set in policy.
Feedback? Does that mean like if you, Tara and Greg, go to 4 days too?
Well, I already work basically 10s now, and then I come in on Friday and clean my desk and work. I try to have my 40 hours in by the end of the day on Thursday, so on Friday I can clean up. But yeah, I guess we would. Or we'd be here all.
What if somebody needed to come in on a Friday for a zoning permit, or somebody had to have their utilities paid by Friday to not get cut off?
Same, it would be the same as somebody needed to pay by Saturday. If the utility disconnect deadline fell on an off day, they always have that next business day. So if it fell on a Friday, they would have all day Monday to get paid. So yeah, I mean, there are things to consider.
Is this something we wanna decide tonight? Is this something we wanna think about?
Well, I would rather have a policy in place to handle all these incidentals before we move forward.
Okay,
But if council wants to instruct that, then that's what we would do.
so, would we like to have Joe and Travis, kind of take this and massage it a little and
Think of the implications, bring it back to you.
see what you guys think? We could add it to the meeting next month and talk about it again.
As far as your department heads, I know you said you talked to them, but are most of them amenable to trying it out?
Yeah, I think everybody seems to be, yeah.
But it wouldn't apply, obviously, I guess, to the police department, people like that, are showing work their typical
Yeah.
schedules.
Fire,
Right.
whichever.
Are we good with that?
Yep, that's all I have.
That's, okay, so we'll have Joe and Travis work on that and then bring that to next month's work session.
I can tell you how, I'll get Lydia and tell you how it is for our
All right,
holidays.
I appreciate that.
That's all I have, thanks.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Hanselman,
Nothing,
nothing? Councilman Barnhart,
nothing.
nothing, all right. Councilmember Garbett,
Yeah, I have a letter I'm gonna read. I sent it to all the council and I believe most of the transcripts I sent it to you and Tara as well. So, just gonna read the whole thing so I don't leave anything out. There's a few things I'd like to be on record a little bit. Very positive things, I think. Dear council members and residents of the village of Georgetown, my journey with the village council began when I was appointed to fill a vacancy, and I will always be grateful for the trust and opportunity extended to me. When it came time to run for election, the community's support allowed me to serve a full term. For that, I am deeply thankful. Serving on the council has been one of the most rewarding experiences of my life. As someone who wasn't originally from Georgetown, this role gave me a chance to truly immerse myself in the history, character, and charm of our village, the very things that first made me fall in love with this community. Along the way, I've faced challenges and met incredible people and worked to creatively and passionately address the needs of our village. Now let me be clear, I'm not a party-driven or a political person at all, but my love for this village compelled me to serve in every way I could. Witnessing the progress and improvements during my time here has been an honor and a blessing. Unfortunately, it is with a heavy heart and a touch of frustration that I must tender my resignation as of January 1st, 2025. My family and I are moving outside of the village, and as the current charter stands, I will no longer be eligible to serve. While I will still own property here and remain deeply invested in Georgetown as a resident, the charter's restrictions require this difficult decision for me to make. So, looking forward, I hope that the council can consider revisiting and expanding the charter to allow individuals like myself, those who own property, operate businesses, and love this village to serve in some way on council. I believe opening the door for broader participation would strengthen our community's leadership and future. I also want to encourage those residents who are currently eligible to consider serving on the council. You don't have to think of yourself as political to make a meaningful impact. The village needs more people like the current seated council who love Georgetown, are willing to work hard, and can collaborate to achieve progress. If you've never considered serving in this way, let me tell you, it is rewarding, it's eye-opening, and it's absolutely worth it. Though I'm stepping down from council, my love for Georgetown and its people isn't going anywhere. You'll still see me at the meetings as I'm able to and serving in other ways. To my fellow council members and the mayor and Travis and Joe and all those others who are involved, thank you for your hospitality, collaboration, and dedication to our shared goals. To the village staff, I'm endlessly appreciative of your patience and support. And in closing, thank you, Georgetown, for trusting me to serve you. It's been a joy, an honor, and a learning experience. And I do deeply regret not being able to continue on the council. It's something that I have thoroughly enjoyed, and you're a wonderful group of people, and it's a great community, and I hope that we can continue to see progress. So I'll be praying for you guys a lot, and if you ever need anything, let me know. That's it.
well, I think I speak on behalf of the council. It's been a pleasure working with you by all means. You've brought a very distinct perspective to this council, very professional presence, and I think it's really helped pay off for this community. So we appreciate what you've done, and I know I'm going to see you out there pretty often in the audience, so I don't think that just because you're just not sitting on this side of the table doesn't mean you can't still participate. Your opinion still does matter. And we certainly want to hear from you as well. So we thank you and good luck with the new house. By all means.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Very sad to see you go though. All right. Thank you. Anything else, Pink?
That's it.
All right. So you're going to be around until, what did you say, the 21st?
January 1st will be my
I'm sorry.
official
Right.
day.
Trying to hold on to you longer than
January 1st of 2026.
Right?
Yes, that's what I heard.
If we can change legislation, we'll do it. But I don't think we can get that done.
Yeah, that would be nice. All right, well, thank you. But you will be here through the end of the year, guys, so. All right, Councilmember Mays.
Just like to tell everybody, I hope they have a safe and Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and look forward to continue serving with the people here come the first of the year.
All right, thank you. Councilmember Baki.
Just one thing briefly, as we go forward with the park, I would encourage all the residents, the Little League, the Knothole, the soccer teams, all the heads of those departments to make sure to reach out to council, reach out to the mayor, the administrator as we go forward with the park. I think it's important to get input from you folks along the way because you guys are the people that are utilizing the park. So as we go forward with our plan, I would encourage you guys to make sure you reach out to that. That's all I have.
Fantastic, thank you. Administrator.
So just follow up on the park master plan, if everyone from council could send me your priorities, we are working on that rough draft. Once we get that created, we will get that out to the public, maybe we'll have some town halls to discuss that or something, but that first step is to get your priorities and make sure we get those in. I do have kind of their first stab at it, which I don't think fits what council wants, but I'd like to see what your priorities are, so we can move forward with that. So get those emailed to me if you could. The only other thing is, we are coming up on an enrollment period. As you know, with AMP, they do offer things to help offset the cost of capacity. We're already doing the Efficiency Smart, which is kind of a volunteer thing. They do have some subscription-based ways to further reduce capacity, and that is something that we would have to adopt by February. I'll send you information to consider. Basically, it's a smart thermostat that we would pay $80 per thermostat that gets installed in customer homes. What that allows is AMP would take control of that thermostat on those hot afternoons when we're trying to shave peak. So they would, with the customers, they're allowing that to happen, they would turn the air conditioner on at a lower rate so that they cool the house down. So then you could turn off power during that peak time to help shave those peaks. So it supposedly benefits the communities that do that, helps us get a cheaper capacity rate. So I'll send that packet out for your consideration, and then we could discuss it in January if it's something that you think the community would be accepting of. That's it.
All right, thank you. Solicitor, anything for the group?
Just I'll work on the things that you've asked me to work on with the administrator.
Sounds good. All right, outside of that, a couple of events that I know that are coming up over the next few weeks. It is that busy time of year, so we do, this weekend I know the Gaslight Theater is putting on an event Saturday night at 6 p.m. with Santa Claus being present. So if you've not yet seen Santa this year, he will be at the Gaslight Theater. I know he has a busy schedule, but we were able to book him. So make sure you get out to that. There will be other things going on that night at the Gaslight. I know she's got a raffle lined up and lots of good stuff for the kids. So come out, it's a free event. And then in January the 11th, I believe, yes, the 11th is the ice skating event on the square that the village is putting together. This was an event that Mike spearheaded last year, and it was a great idea and it really took off. So we jumped in to help make it even grander this year. So there will be 2 rinks on the square for those of you that came out last year, and there was quite the wait to go skating. That hopefully will be resolved this year with 2 actual rinks. There will be some food trucks there. There will be the train again, so you can take a ride on the train around the square. But again, just a nice event for the family to come out. Ice skating is free, and there will be skates that are provided. So again, that's January 11th, and the time on that is 3 to 6 p.m., so make sure to mark your calendars. Outside of that, is there anything else for council tonight? Next meeting is on January 9th of 2024. Seems so far, or 2025, look at that. We're moving into 2025. So next meeting is January 9th, 2025, 6 p.m. here. It is a work session, so I'm sure we'll have plenty of things to discuss. If nothing else, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Councilmember Baki has properly made the motion with Councilmember Barnhart seconding. All those in favor state so by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion